All right, y'all. PSG 1, Arsenal nil. It's a massive away win for Luis Enrique and PSG away at the Emirates. They're now taking things back home to France next week with the 1 goal advantage. I thought this game was epic. I enjoyed every single second of it. I'm probably not the only neutral who was watching. I hope everybody else enjoyed it as much as I did because I thought there was some really good strategic footy going on and some moments of magic. And I'm going to break all this down. I have some talking points and everything. If you guys like Champions League football, make sure you're subscribed. I'm going to be here with the full squad tomorrow for Inter Barca match reaction. Super excited for that leg. These semifinals are so hard. And then we got the Europa League and Conference League recaps on Thursday. So there's plenty of videos for you if you do like European football. I'll start with this question. Did PSG deserve to win this game? Now, if you would have asked me that in the 81st minute, I would have told you the game probably should have been at 2-2. I really feel like Arsenal had done enough to make it a draw at that point. Donnarumma, I'll talk about him later. Massive saves to keep PSG in this tie. He did that against Liverpool. He did that against Villa. And now he's done that, at least in the first leg, against Arsenal. Y'all have to have him as your top-rated goalkeeper in your Ballon d'Or rankings. I don't care if you're an Alisson simp. I don't care if you're a Raya simp. You have to have Donnarumma number one as of today. Now, if Arsenal win 4-0 at the Parc des Princes, then you can have David Raya or Alisson or somebody else above him. Jan Sommer, I don't care, but for right now, it has to be Donnarumma or you're just a straight hater. I thought it was a really, really good performance from him. And David Raya had a big save of his own. Like I said, minute 81, probably 2-2 draw was fair. However, from minute 81 to 90, PSG was some massive misses, and they truly could have put the tie away, much like they did against Aston Villa, where Nuno Mendes kind of gets the ball crunching goal right late in the game in extra time. PSG had the opportunity to pretty much end this thing, and I'm really not being hyperbolic. It would be over if PSG won 3-0. It's done. They're not beating PSG by 3 goals away. It's just not going to happen. This PSG team are too good. But they failed to convert. Barcola with the first one is quite bad. And then Gonzalo Ramos, his is not as bad. He did have some runners in the box. He probably should have passed it off, but goes off the crossbar. I feel like now PSG fans will be thinking, despite the victory, that they should have won by more, right? Again, before minute 81, I would have felt like the draw was fair. After minute 81, PSG probably should have won by 2 goals. So I think PSG by 1. I think all parties will feel like that's a okay result, right? I don't think Arsenal is going to be too upset that they lost this game by 1. They are completely in this tie still. And PSG fans, they can't party too hard because they only won by 1 goal, but they are coming back home. So I think both sides, right? It's like a stalemate, right? It's like in Troy when they think that they've killed Achilles, but they've actually killed Patroclus, and both armies are like, you know what? Let's just call it. We'll come back here tomorrow. Like, ain't nobody won, right? I feel like that was really Arsenal PSG leg 1. Discussion point number 2. Why did PSG win this game? I feel like the number one reason is the technical level of their back line in their midfield. They are so good at managing the game, it is actually borderline unfair. Like, if you looked at the second half in particular, because I thought Arsenal finished this second part of the first half, Arsenal was on top and they were really, really going for them. But in the second half, PSG just kind of passed the game away. They really didn't let Arsenal get on the ball. It's classic Luis Enrique Spanish masterclass. Death by 1,000 passes. We're just going to keep rotating the ball between the back line. We'll pass it to the midfield. If the opportunity's not there, we're recycling, right? They want to save the planet. They're going to recycle the ball 200 times if they have to. I felt like I was watching the same sequence over and over and over again. João Neves wins the ball, or Vitinha wins the ball, or Fabian Ruiz wins the ball. First thing they do is they look at William Bacho and they pass it backwards. Bacho then continues to pass backwards to Donnarumma, and here we go. And that happened, I swear, 50 times in this game. They have truly mastered the art of just passing the air out of the game. Now, at the same time, I think Arsenal remained patient. I feel like they didn't break their shape. Whenever Arsenal had to drop back into their defensive position, they actually did really well. And they didn't really concede that many good chances to a PSG side who have been borderline unplayable the entire year, certainly since 2025. So I feel like for Arsenal fans, I just don't want to see a bunch of flack towards Arteta. I don't want to see the Arteta folded, right? I don't want to see the Enrique completely outclassed Mikel Arteta. That is a dumb narrative, and that is false. PSG should win this tie. PSG should make the Champions League final. PSG have a better team than Arsenal, especially with the injuries that Arsenal have. If Arsenal lose in the semifinals here, it is zero shame whatsoever. It is not because Arteta's a fraud. It's not because he's a bottle job. It's because PSG are amazing. And if they're not the best team in Europe, if you want to say it's Barcelona, they're number two, hands down. And really, if you look back at PSG's goal, it wasn't like Arteta didn't set the guys up. It's just a late rotation. Declan Rice comes over to help out Timber with Kvara. They obviously wanted to eliminate any one-on-ones. Kvara looks up. Nobody else is switching over. Nobody, the rotation doesn't continue. Nobody goes to Dembele, who starts and finishes the play. And he shoots and scores. And I don't even know what the XG is on the shot, 0.15. I mean, it is not an easy goal. And he pulls it out, and that's why he's, top 3 Ballon d'Or nominee as of today. And let me be a little bit negative about PSG for a second. Number one, I feel like Achraf Hakimi was terrible today. Terrible. Kind of lucky to not get sent off. I think he had one really good chance created. I'm not sure who the pass went to. You guys will know in the comments. Outside of that, pretty ineffective. Had some dumb fouls throughout the match. So Hakimi, I feel like he was far outclassed by Miles Lewis-Skelly, Timber, and Nuno Mendes. I mean, Hakimi's definitely 4th in the fullback rankings during the first leg. Very quickly on Vitinha, right? For me, and I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say, this match is exactly why Vitinha's not in my top 10 Ballon d'Or. And this is exactly why I have to have Pedri over Vitinha in the Ballon d'Or. Because there are too many games such as this where Vitinha has a solid game. I don't think Vitinha was particularly bad today. I think he was solid. I'd give him a 7.5 out of 10. 7 out of 10. I thought he was solid. But I think he was PSG's 3rd best midfielder today. I thought Fabian Ruiz and Mendes especially outclassed him. And I think they outclassed him against Aston Villa too. And there's just too many examples now of Vitinha being the 2nd or the 3rd best midfielder in a PSG match. And there's nothing wrong with that. He's had a great season. He's a great player. Pedri doesn't do that. You never see Pedri as the 3rd best midfielder in Barcelona. That literally has not happened a single game this season. I don't even think he's been the 2nd best midfielder in any game. I genuinely think he is head and shoulders the best Barca player whenever he suits up. Vitinha, I think what he's done is an incredible, single accolade season, absolutely. But he cannot be the Ballon d'Or for me, even if PSG go on to win, because I don't see the individual importance and valuableness to the team that Pedri has for Barcelona. I just want to say that very quickly. It'll sound like I'm hating, but I mean, you can disagree if you want to. Does Arsenal have hope heading away to France? Absolutely. Again, I thought strategically this was a very 50-50 game. And I saw somebody tweeted at me and said Arsenal doesn't have a plan B. Bro, the plan A wasn't really that bad. I mean, what did Arteta do that was terrible in this game? What would Pep Guardiola come in, or Jurgen Klopp, or Ancelotti? Well, Ancelotti doesn't have tactics, but somebody else come in. What else would they have done? Do you see the personnel that he's working with? He's the underdog in this game. And he lost 1-0 at home to PSG. I thought it was PSG's slowest offensive game I've seen in the Champions League knockouts. This is game 7 in the UCL knockouts. This was their lowest production offensive game. And I don't even think it's close. This compared to how they played at Anfield. I mean, if Liverpool played like this at Anfield, how Arsenal played today at the Emirates, maybe Liverpool would have won. Because PSG really dominated Liverpool in a way that they weren't able to do with Arsenal today. I think Arteta did a good job, and I think the team was well drilled. The biggest hope for them in the second leg is going to be set pieces. Maybe it's cliche to say, but Arsenal, I swear, y'all, every time they had a corner, every time they had a set piece, and I saw Declan Rice standing over that, I had to stand up. I could not sit down because I was like, I think they're going to score. Does anybody else feel like that? It just feels like they're gonna score every single time. And I know they got one. Mikel Merino was offsides by a shoulder. They did get one and was chalked off. They look dangerous every single time. They have a big athleticism and maybe not athleticism, but physical size advantage. And this is what they do. I forgot the set piece goal stat for Arsenal, but this is their bread and butter, right? When you're a great team and you score set pieces, you're going to be challenging for trophies. You're going to make semifinals. You're going to be pushing for title challenges. And that's what Arsenal have done. Last thing I want to say here, man of the match nominees. I think I got a pretty good top three. I'm going to go with Donnarumma has to be nominated. Two insane saves. Insane saves. I already gave this guy his flowers. But there's a good argument PSG should have been down 2-1 heading into that 81st minute. Number two, if I had to highlight a Arsenal player for man of the match, I would say Saliba. He had that insane block against Hakimi, who was about to shoot inside the box, and had a great recovery against Kvaratskhelia in the second half. Overall, I don't really think he put a foot wrong. And I think he covered for Arsenal the few times that things went south. And then João Neves has to be my number one. He was a freak in the midfield today. I don't know how many vital challenges and interventions he had, but it felt like at least 4. And that's what you need when you're going away to the Emirates and you're just trying to. Honestly, PSG probably would have been cool with the 0-0 draw. Like they would have been fine going back and just having to win 190 minutes against Arsenal. But it's because of Neves's performance that they're able to go back with the 1-goal lead. I mean, I thought he was great, had an amazing impact on the game individually, much more so than even Doué and Dembele. I saw a bunch of Doué stats online. I don't really think he cooked like that. Like, he was solid, right? Kvaratskhelia was solid. Dembele was solid, but they weren't game changers. They weren't making Arsenal sweat like that. Neves and Ruiz were really, honestly, shout out Marquinhos as well. So freaking underrated. And William Pacho. Those guys are really the big difference makers for me today for PSG. So I cannot wait for the second leg. I don't know what's going to happen. I said PSG were going to win 4-2 on AG. Does that mean if my prediction is correct, are we going to see a 3-2 PSG win away? Or at home in the Parc des Princes? Honestly, it's not impossible because Arsenal will have to go for it at some point. So I cannot, man, I'm so freaking excited for that game. Everything is still up in the balance. Manager legacies, Ballon d'Or races. Is the season an L or a dub? Everything is up in the air. I can't wait. I'm going to do a instant match reaction for that one as well next week. So if you enjoyed this one, you want to see me talk more UCL ball, make sure you subscribe. Like I said, another reminder, I'm back with the team, the Lengua de la Liga team tomorrow. Lengua de la Liga is our Spanish show here on Dead Ball TV to cover Inter Milan, Barcelona, and then we got all the Europa League guys on Thursday. I mean, the calendar is full. There's literally no room left to add more videos. So plenty of content on the way. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.